The boy suddenly found his brother, who had been lame in his left leg for more than 20 years. Today, it turned into my right leg. He subconsciously asked his brother what was going on, but my brother just said he just woke up. If you can't see clearly, go wash your face. Then I went back to limping on my left leg. But Zhenshuo was sure that he was not mistaken, because he had long thought that his brother might be fake. Sometimes I go out quietly at night. This night, he wanted to find out the truth behind. Just wait until my brother goes to bed. I also pretended to fall asleep on the table. But his brother really got up and came behind him. Then I picked up the mechanical pencil on the table, start pressing against his eyes. Seeing the pencil getting closer and closer to my brother's eyes, my brother showed no intention of stopping, and there was hatred in his eyes. Finally, the pencil lead will fall off automatically. Zhenshuo didn't react at all. After making sure that my brother was really asleep, he left the room with confidence. However, he didn't know that his brother didn't sleep at all. Soon he followed out to check. After my brother looked around to make sure there was no one around, the lame leg actually began to stride. He was pretending to have a limp. Now Zhenshuo is sure that there is something wrong with his brother. So he got in a taxi and followed his brother. Follow all the way to the alleys where few people go. I saw 2 little hooligans find my brother. He actually called him boss, respectfully. But after he looked more carefully at the 2 younger brothers, he was truly dumbfounded. Because those were the 2 policemen who came to his house some time ago. These 2 policemen are here to investigate my brother. Because one night Zhenshuo watched. I saw my brother being caught by several people and put into the car. He tried his best but couldn't catch up. Finally, I just wrote down the license plate number of the car. The next day, 2 policemen came to the house. Tell him that he can't find the license plate information anyway. There is no clue to find my brother. For a time, the whole family was immersed in sadness. However, 19 days after his brother disappeared, miraculously, I returned home. Maybe he was tortured inhumanely during this period. He forgot the memory of these 19 days. When I came to my senses, my brother and the 2 men were gone. Just when he wanted to explore further, suddenly someone covered his mouth and nose, and he passed out. Consciousness flows away like a flood. But after waking up the next day, he found himself still lying on the table. There is nothing wrong with my body. My brother has been lying in bed. But Zhenshuo no longer believes in his brother. Run into the bathroom and lock the door. Questioning my brother about his relationship with the 2 policemen. Why don't I have a limp when I go out in the middle of the night?
진석아, 너 혹시 또 이상한 꿈 꾸고 이러는 거면은 닥쳐! 꿈? 아니, 너무 명확하고 생생해. 어제 내가 자는 줄 알았지? 자고 있었어. 그 샤프심 소리 들리기 전까지는. 샤프심 무슨 샤프심? 네가 내 눈앞에 떨어뜨린 그 샤프심!
Jinxie's emotions gradually collapsed. He doesn't want to know what conspiracy this person has. I just want him to give back his real brother. So I picked up an iron pipe and walked out the door. But he was thrown to the ground by his brother. Let him calm down and stop thinking about it.
다 실제가 아니야. 어? 샤프심, 네가 탔던 택시, 널 뒤쫓던 그 남자들 전부 다 실제로 있었던 일이 아니라고. 내 기억들. 약. 너 약 먹었어? 어제. 어?
Jinxie then remembered that when he took medicine yesterday, I accidentally spilled the pills under the table. Then I forgot about taking medicine. Could it be that I really didn't take the medicine and had this dream? Did I really blame my brother wrongly? After seeing Zhenshuo calm down, just gently let him wait for his mother to come back home. Then I went out to work. Zhengxi was ready to do something else to divert his attention. However, he accidentally found on the table the pencil lead pressed out by my brother. At this time, the brother who had just left the house took a few steps. The 2 legs became normal again. Zhenshuo is convinced that this is not a dream. Suddenly he thought of what his brother had just said. Then the mother returned home. Zhenshuo immediately told his mother all the strange things. The mother was obviously frightened, said he would wait until his father came back to tell him. However, When Jingxi woke up from his dream at night, when he was about to go to the toilet, I heard my mother calling me in the middle of the night.
이 새끼가 눈치챈 것 같아.
In an instant, Jingxi broke out in a cold sweat. Is my mother also fake like my brother? He quietly came to the door and tried to eavesdrop, but I accidentally made a noise. The mother noticed something and came outside to check, but no figure was found. Jin-sik was hiding behind the door nervously.
아니야, 분명히 소리를 듣긴 들었는데 걔가 내려온 거 아니냐고? 지금 위에서 세상 모르고 자고 있어. 알았어, 방에 한번 가볼게.
I heard my mother going to the room to check on me, but now you can't enter through the main entrance. In a hurry, he crawled back to the room along the pipe. Lie down on the bed before your mother comes in. However, the mother still lifted the quilt. Seeing him sleeping, sweating profusely, he showed a different look. Only after hearing the door close did Jingxi dare to get up. But suddenly he saw
이제 일어났니?
the rain on my face and the open window. There is no way to hide my deep sleep. The mother just smiled and turned to go out. Then I went downstairs and called my father.
빨리 와야겠어. 지금 당장. 나도 이 새끼한테 뽀록 났네.
At this time, Zhengshi desperately climbed out of the window. Although I don't know what happened, but I can't stay at home right now. But he ran into his father, who had just returned home. The mother and a stranger also appeared behind 8. Without thinking too much, Jingxi started to run away desperately. Just listen to the mother's order. The man chased after him. The two of them walked through the intersecting streets on this rainy night. The police station is just at the end, but he still fell to the ground. Fortunately, the man was also hit by a motorcycle. He then rolled and crawled towards a police car. Finally, he entered the police station safely. After being comforted by the police, I began to tell the story. However, after hearing him say that he was 21 years old, everyone actually asked the uncle not to joke. Jin-sok wonders why they don't believe him. I am so strong and so young. Unexpectedly, the police told him a shocking news.
몇 년도인데 77년생이 21살이요?
97년도니까 21살이 맞죠?
Suddenly, everyone else was laughing at his wild imagination. The police then pointed to the calendar at the back. Then, he looked at the date on television. Jingxi was completely stunned, because he doesn't even know the president. All of this is so weird. Finally, Jin-sok sees himself in the mirror. It turned out to be a man in his 40s or 50s. He doesn't know why this happened. What happened to those families? If you want to find out, you should go back home. Maybe only those so-called family members. Only then can all doubts be answered and the truth be given to him. However, as soon as he entered the door, he heard the music. After going all the way to the second floor, he discovered the attic that had been closed was actually open. He opened the door and found the place in disarray. The dummy lying on the ground is still stained with blood. There was a dagger next to it. On the other side, there is also a dummy. When he was in shock, the family members also followed in.
당신들 누구야? 고작 그게 궁금해? 그거 말고 궁금한 게 많을 텐데.
말해. 나한테 무슨 짓 한 거야?
Then my brother slowly lit a cigarette. Then I told him something that happened 20 years ago. In this same room, a mother and daughter were brutally murdered, although the police attached great importance to this matter. But the real culprit was never found. The statute of limitations under Korean law is 15 years. 15 years later, this case was forgotten by everyone. But there is one person who never gives up. Wu Lai from the gang accepted money to help people find the murderer. The gangs always do things based on credibility. I didn't expect that after 4 years of hard work, he actually found the murderer. That is Jin-sok, who is already 41 years old. But whether it is mental torture or physical torture, Jin-sok says he knows nothing. After many attempts, Wu Li, it is confirmed that Jin-sok has lost his memory. So Wu Lai invited a hypnotist. Experts speculate that there should be a period of time the murderer suffered unbearable pain. The brain's self-protection made him forget that memory. If you want him to recall that time, we need to get his brain back to before the incident. that rainy night in 1997. So the experts asked him to start taking psychiatric drugs and started hypnotizing him. In Jingxi's 20 years of memory, his brother became Wu Yale, and my father is the hypnotist. Another actress was found as his mother.
하나, 둘, 셋.
어머, 이 땀 좀 봐. 진서가 괜찮아?
They moved to the house they lived in later. I also lied to him that I was sick and needed to take medicine every day. Then close the attic and don't let anyone in. Make some noise from time to time to attract him, until he broke into the room himself, seeing the crime scene they set up. Then let Zhengshi recall the memory of that year. After a few days, I finally waited until a rainy night when the crime happened. But at this time, an accident occurred. Wu Lai was forcibly taken away by the police for being involved in organized crime. That was the day Jinseok saw his brother being kidnapped. To continue to conceal his hallucinations, Wu Lai asked his men to pretend to be police officers and go to his home to investigate. Finally, after 19 days, my brother came home. Next is to continue waiting for the rainy night. During this time, Jin Shi observed those details. Now all plans have completely collapsed.
이제 알겠어? 우리가 왜 그랬는지, 네가 왜 그렇게 됐는지?
But at this time, Zhengxi still didn't believe that he would kill someone. He opened the car door and tried to jump out and escape. However, he fell to the side of the road and gradually fell into a coma. During this time, a vague memory came to me. It was a sunny afternoon. He and his real brother, mother, and father returning home from the spring-filled river. But at this moment, the car crashed. I was the only one who was safe and sound after the car accident. My parents have passed away. My brother was seriously injured and has been in a coma. All the family savings and borrowed money were spent. The surgery will cost a fortune. The attending doctor told him that he had to hurry up. Otherwise, my brother might never wake up.
이런 말 하기 미안하지만 더 늦으면 안 돼요. 하루라도 빨리 수술을 해야 해요, 반드시. 그래야 살릴 수 있어요.
After that, Jin-sok went to all the loan sharks, even thought about selling organs, but I couldn't raise the high cost of surgery. Holding on to the last glimmer of hope and fantasy, he posted a message online asking for help. He's willing to do anything as long as it helps him. I didn't expect someone to send me a message. Ask him if he is willing to give up his soul. You are urgent, and I need your urgency. So can you help me kill someone? Please reply to me before noon tomorrow. Jin-sok sat in front of the computer for a whole afternoon, finally agreed to the other party's request. He chose to sell his soul. Soon, the other party sent him an address. On a dark, rainy night, Jin-sok came to that address. According to the prompt, I found the key in the pipe. The person behind the scenes told him that there were 3 people in the family. Just kill the mother. The 2 children must not be harmed. However, when he quietly opened the door, after seeing the mother and child sleeping peacefully on the bed, the soul in my heart began to stir restlessly. My family has been broken apart. He really can't do this kind of thing. But just when he was about to give up and leave, the woman thought it was her husband who had returned and went out to greet him. But I didn't expect to see a man in black. There's a dagger in his hand.
소리 지르지 마세요. 저 그냥 갈게요.
Both sides fell into extreme panic. Although the mother was afraid, she tried her best to suppress. She didn't make a sound for the sake of her child. But the older sister heard the noise. When I walked down, I saw the dagger. The immaturity of the mind made the sister scream loudly, then quickly ran upstairs. The helpless Zhenshi can only chase. He begged the girl to stop shouting. I will leave immediately and do nothing. When she got up, the dagger had already stabbed into her daughter's body. Soon he collapsed and stopped breathing.
그러니까 내가 소리 지르지 말라고. 미안해.
At this time, the mother also came upstairs, found out that her daughter was killed by Jin-sok. I can no longer hold back and desperately call for help. The panicked Zhengxi was completely ignited. He rushed over like a madman and killed his mother, watching 2 lives tragically killed by his own hands. Jinsok's brain is buzzing, but soon he became stunned. I walked downstairs in a daze and went out in a daze, but the little boy at home discovered him. Jinsok said he would bring his mom and sister back soon. Let him count the number of times he goes to sleep first.
방에 들어가서 이불 뒤집어 쓰고 1부터 100까지 10번 세는 거야, 10번. 알았지?
네.
But just when Zhengzi was about to leave, I saw their family portrait hanging on the wall. The man above is his attending physician, the one who told me that I needed a huge surgery fee. So he is also the one behind the scenes. At this time, he was standing on the rooftop waiting for Jinseok, but I didn't expect to get a call from my son first. I learned that my sister also died at the hands of Jin Shi.
아빠가 빨리 갈게.
It turns out that all this was the doctor's plan. He questioned Jinsok about his promise not to hurt his children. Why did my sister die in his hands? At this time, Zhengxi is still full of guilt. I keep begging for forgiveness and crying, but now the doctor just wants to kill him for revenge. But when I pushed him against the railing, I couldn't stop the car and it flipped over. Although Jin Seok tried his best to save him, but in the end the doctor still fell from the roof. This pain tortured him all the time. Jingxi really can't bear it, so the brain blocks this memory. 20 years later, Wu Lai found out the truth, made a series of plans to help him recover. But even if I did so much, it was useless. I was going to kill it with a poison needle, but suddenly Jingxi began to repent. Wu Lai found that he had recovered his memory. He was immediately asked why he killed a family. Was it someone's instructions? Is that man the father of the family? It turned out that he had already investigated a month before the accident. The father, who was not well off to begin with, bought an insurance policy for his mother. He now wants to know if his father instructed him to do this.
1부터 100까지 10번 세면 엄마 데려오겠다고 했잖아, 나한테.
It turns out that Wu Li is the little boy back then. After the death of a family member, the insurance is divided among relatives. He was sent to an orphanage. He swore to cut the murderer into pieces. The road to growth is almost dark. Joined the underworld and became the boss. After investigating the truth behind the murder, but he has been waiting for the murderer to confess. However, Jinsok told him that he did it. No one instructed him, all to make up for the guilt of the past, leave a little affection for the former little boy. But Wu Lai had already seen the truth from his expression.
그걸 나보고 믿으라고.
He let out a long sigh, and tears quietly fell. It's like a stone finally landed safely. After telling Jinsok to take care of himself, he left. What has supported his growth over the years, it was the truth and revenge of that year. But after all this is done, it seems like life has no other meaning, so he chose to end it this afternoon. This time, he was finally able to fall asleep like a child. On the other side, there is another person suffering. The guilt made him feel like a knife cutting his heart. Wu Lai originally wanted to kill him with a poison needle. There was no choice to let him go. But Jingxi can't let himself go. Finally, I was relieved of this pain peacefully. Their fates all went into the depths of darkness. Little did they know that their fate began, bathed in the soft and warm spring breeze.
안녕. 몇 살이야? 5살이야. 아니야. 너 먹어.
Reveal the emotional core under the shell through suspense, revealing the duality of memory. It is both a source of suffering and a path to salvation. Reality and memory are intertwined like a web. One is in helplessness and despair. The murderer who chose to sell his soul. One is helpless and hopeless. A 5-year-old child whose family was broken up because guilt and fear blocked my memory. Because of hatred and resentment, revenge is the meaning of life. This world has a cycle of cause and effect. Every moment is a choice. Behind every decision, there are unknown results hidden. Just like they didn't know about the chance encounter in the park, but it became a memory of parting. Click to follow, and don't get lost. Which movie will be explained in the next issue? You have the final say in the comments section.